for an opportunity to get a message across. Take the helmet, for example. Back when I drove race cars, we had just a plain old gray helmet that we put on the head just to protect our head. Didn't tell a message, but look at this. Today, helmets are designed by artists. There are a number of them in the sport to make the driver look good and, of course, to get a message across for the sponsor. And that is the subject of this week's Inside NASCAR Profile.
Started, I was working on some teams and they needed some helmets painted, so I painted helmets in California and when I was racing shifter carts. And I painted their helmets and then went for a dry spell, worked on a few teams, and then in November of '95, it really took off.
Now Sean designs helmets for 16 Winston Cup drivers and 4 Busch drivers. No one does more helmets for the Winston Cup circuit than Rogers, who also airbrushes helmets for the NHRA and Craftsman trucks.
But on 90% of the helmets, they just, here's the colors of the car and here's what needs to be wear, and they let me go for it. So 90% of the time, they don't know what they're going to get until they see it.
The 10 days before Daytona are usually the busiest for Sean. This year he did 20 helmets, but he also turned 20 away. Each helmet takes about 2 days to complete and costs around $325. 2 drivers have trademarks, Jeff Gordon, who has the feathers on his helmet, and Dale Jarrett has raindrops on his. As for Sean's favorite?
The Spam helmet. It's got a granite base, blue on top, and it's peeling back, kind of like it's blue metal.
Most challenging?
Probably Jeff's, the Indian headdress helmet. I call it the Warrior, I guess because of the Rainbow Warriors. But I saw the Indian, the wooden Indian in the shop, and I said, man, I got to put that on the helmet. And I was just bouncing around how I was going to do it.
How about most symbolic?
That would definitely be Dale Jarrett, the Darlington helmet. With the Winston Million, yeah. That was the first helmet that actually had a theme and a purpose. The funnest one I did, I think, was the Pink Panther or the wood helmet that I did for Brett Bodine last year. Did one for, was a Southeast wood treating, and it looked like wood, and I've gotten the most comments out of any of the helmets I've done was that one. And then the other one I did was for Owens Corning, and they have the Pink Panther, so I did it like Kilroy, how Kilroy always did the thing with the nose. I did the Pink Panther looking over the Owens Corning logo, so it was kind of neat.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show. We hope you enjoyed it. Our thanks to Phil Parsons and all the folks here at the Channel Lock Racing team for allowing us to show you around their shops. You join us again here on TNN for more on Inside NASCAR.